Shalom to everyone, and God bless. We learn in Bereshis, Genesis, the first book of the 5 books of Moses, that God created the world in 7 days. When we look at the Torah, the Bible, when we look at Genesis, Bereshis, we see teachings of how God created the world in a very general term, in a general way. But when we look at holy books like the Zohar and different Kabbalic books, we read that there's a higher level of how God created this world. That He didn't just create this world by a form of just simple, God created the world and it came to be through His words. We learn that God created this world with an idea, a thought. Through this thought, through this idea, He materialized it, and then He spoke it. Now, of course, when talking about God, these are all metaphors for us to understand, but they are the 3 ideas of a person having an idea, materializing that idea, and then speaking it. We learn from the Holy Zohar that when God spoke, letters, Hebrew letters came out. The 22 Hebrew words of the Hebrew alphabet. When these letters came out, the 10 attributes, sfrot, of God, put them together in formations and created things like trees, like water, like the mountains, like you and me. In the sense that, if anybody's ever seen the movie The Matrix System, this whole world that we live in, what we see, is not truly what is the reality. The mountains that we see are the reality of what we know the physical world to be. But the other side of this world is a world of letters and sephirot, the 10 attributes of God. When we think about this world, we should remember that they're like atom cells, that everything is made up of letters and of attributes that hold them together. By looking at another side of this world, the true essence of the holiness of this world, we realize that we are all woven together like a big web, that none of us are individuals in the sense that we understand, that we are all connected in more ways than we really understand. This world is a jigsaw puzzle, and we're all a part of it. By learning things like Hasidus and Kabbalah, by learning things of the other side of Genesis, the other side of the Torah, we realize that there's much more to life than just what we read in the Torah, that there's the other side of the essence of everything that is put together. We learn in last week's Bible chapter, the Parshah Bo, that Bo means to come. And what does this mean? The Jewish people are getting ready to leave Mitzrayim. They are leaving Egypt and going into the desert. They're not coming. They're leaving. We learn in Hasidus, Jewish philosophy, mysticism, that the idea of coming was the idea that the Jewish people were confronting the evil. They were confronting the materialism of the world. And confronting it, they were conquering it by facing it. And we learn that a person with a problem should face that problem and attack it head on, instead of waiting for it to come at you. It is like a wild dog coming at you. Do you just stand there and let it attack you, or do you take action and prepare yourself? Or do you see that the dog is there, and you get away from the dog before it can even get to you? Moshe Rabbeinu, confronted Pharaoh. He confronted Paro. And by confronting Paro, he confronted the evil, he confronted the challenge, and conquered it in its face. The word bo, to come, is the idea that we all must confront the evil, the essence that is within inside us, and conquer it before it conquers us. Whatever challenges that we have in life, whatever our struggles are, they are our struggles because God knows that we can handle them, that we can overcome them. It is ultimately up to us to know that we can handle what is in front of us and we can overcome it. We cannot expect that by being sick with a disease, a chronic disease, that it'll go away. But we can learn how to deal with this problem and live our lives in a happy and uplifting way, the best way that we can. To look down at life and say, shit happens and I can't do anything about it, is a negative way of looking at life, because we can overcome it. We can deal with the problems. We just have to have faith in ourselves and in who we are. Just like the Jewish people leaving Egypt. They were going into the desert. They were going into the Midbar. They didn't know what was coming upon them. They didn't know what was going to happen. But their faith in God, their faith in their leader, Moshe Rabbeinu, gave them the knowledge and understanding that they knew that they could handle it, that they could overcome it. And that is how, in many ways, we should look at ourselves. To know that we can deal with the problem that is at hand. By facing it, by coming to the problem, we can better live our lives in a happier and uplifting way. Unfortunately, many people are not so happy. Many people are depressed in life, for whatever reasons. In many ways, people are more unhappy today than they've been in the past. And yet, we have more to be happy for. We have more to be thankful for than we've ever had before. The world is more at peace than it has been in the past. Yes, we have terrorism. Yes, we have death and murder and destruction. But we still, at the same time, have modern medicines. We have in America and Europe at least the freedom to practice our religions and live our lives in the way that we wish to live our lives. In Israel, well, Israel has its problems. But at the same time, Israel does exist. It is a homeland for the Jewish people. Almost 6 million Jewish people live in Israel today, freely and openly, something that has not happened in the last 2,000 years, and one could even say even longer than 2,000 years, because the Romans had Israel for 200 years before that. We have knowledge that has never been before us before. Our children are more enlightened and knowledgeable than they've ever been, and yet the depression, the unhappiness is higher than in previous generations. You could say that this is because when people have too much time on their hands, they become depressed because they have the time to think about their unhappiness. You could say that it's kind of like a catch-22. We have the freedom, we have the knowledge, so we have to take something negative out of it by being unhappy. But it doesn't have to be that way, nor should it be that way. We have to realize that we have so much to be grateful for, so much to be uplifted by. And I pray and hope that by the Parshah Bo, and by the coming Parshah of this week, we should have the ability to remember that in the past generations before, they didn't know what was going to happen. Everything was a map that was just being drawn. We already have the map. We just have to live by it and follow it. I love you all, and God bless you all.